Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I rise to second, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second this motion on the appointment of Ms. Elizabeth Wangui Muchiri as a member of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission representing the National Police Service Commission. Honorable Speaker, the qualification to be a member of the SRC Commission is contained in Section 5 of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission Act of 2011. One of the requirements, Mr. Speaker, for one to be a member of the Commission is that one is required to hold a bachelor's degree from a recognized university. And while the Parliamentary Committee on Finance and National Planning was interviewing this candidate, Mr. Speaker, we asked ourselves, does she hold a bachelor's degree from a recognized university in Kenya? And Mr. Speaker, we found that she not only has a Bachelor of Communication degree from Leicester University, but also holds a postgraduate diploma in business administration from the University of Pretoria. Another requirement, Mr. Speaker, is whether that person has, as contained in Section 2, Part B, is whether the person has knowledge and at least 10 years of experience in fields of finance, administration, public management, economics, human resource, or labor law. Mr. Speaker, we are able to establish that Ms. Elizabeth started her career in 1997 as a reporter at KTN, where she worked from 1997 to 1999. She rose the position of the senior reporter of the same nation media group from 1999 to 2003. Again she got promoted to become the corporate affairs manager of the same nation media group, a position she held between 2003 and 2004. She was later appointed as the CEO of Nairobi Business District Association from the year 2006-2008. After that, she became the Deputy Director for Africa Media Hub at the US Embassy in Pretoria, South Africa, a position she held between 2009 and 2011. Between 2011 and 2013, she was a Senior Africa Communications Manager at One Campaign in South Africa. Between 2014 and 2016, she was a Senior Director of Communications for Cabinet Affairs. And between 2016 and 2007, she was a Senior Director of Communications in the President's Delivery Unit. So, Mr. Speaker, we can authoritatively say that Ms. Muchiri has exceeded the required 10 years, and she has accumulated 20 years of experience in the fields listed as per the Salaries and Remuneration Commission, Mr. Speaker. Another question that we asked ourselves as a committee is whether she met Chapter 6 requirement of the Constitution. And Mr. Speaker, we were able to establish that she had been cleared by the Kenya Revenue Authority, she was cleared by the Office of Registrar of Political Parties, she had clearance from the DCI, EACC, and the Higher Education Loans Board. Mr. Speaker, another requirement for one to be a member of this commission is you are supposed to have distinguished career, is that you should not just have a career, you should not have just been a career, but should have been a distinguished career. You should have a distinguished career, Mr. Speaker. We are able to establish that this great lady of this country did not just pursue her responsibilities in the various positions she held, but she merited in those areas to warrant some of the awards as listed below. Mr. Speaker, she has received the award of Head of State Commendation. She also received the seal of the President of the US government, White House, and President Barack Obama. Mr. Speaker, she also got an award from the US government by Franklin Award. She also got the High Merit Award that was given to her by the US government, and the High Performance Award by the National Media Group during the time that she served at the National Media Group, Mr. Speaker. As a new member of the Commission representing the National Police Service, we were keen to ask what her role would be or what her view was on the issues of mental health among police officers. As you know, Mr. Speaker, almost every week we have situations of where police officers are either committing suicide, killing innocent people, or even their spouses or children, Mr. Speaker. And the issue of mental health, therefore, has to be looked into serious consideration. And as a committee, we tasked her to find out whether she knew of this challenge and what her views was on how to manage this, Mr. Speaker. She convinced us that one of the solutions is to hire mental health experts within the National Police Service, because the issue of suicide, the issue of this violence is a mental illness issue. And that's why, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate when you hear respectable men and women of this society make a joke or political gimmick about issues of suicide and mental health. Ms. Muchiri was able to establish that she is going to help with the pushing of hiring of this profession, these particular fields. She also convinced us that one of the reasons why the police officers have had these issues of mental health is about their housing conditions. Because, Mr. Speaker, one of the worst housed, one of the people in government that live in the worst housing conditions are police officers. You go to some camps, you go to some police stations, and you find police officers sharing a room. Some of them are married, some of them have children, and it's really a shame that in the year 2022, that these police officers live in this condition. And as a contribute to this, Mr. Speaker, my clarion call to members of parliament is to also allocate their constituent development fund towards building of decent housing for our police officers, and also building decent police stations for our officers. And I'm proud to say, Mr. Speaker, that in Molo constituency, we have established around 5 new police posts, including Mega, Kapsita, Nyakiambi, Mushorwe, and renovated our Elbagon and Molo police stations. And this, Mr. Speaker, is to ensure that our police officers have a habitable place to live and to work. Because as long as they're living in deplorable situations, Mr. Speaker, even the respect that members of parliament have to these law enforcement officers is hardly there. And that's why probably one of the reasons why when they, in the normal duty of enforcing the law, they find a citizen who has done wrong, the first thing the citizens think is a solution is to give these people a bribe. Because they imagine that these people, of course, they don't just imagine, they know that these people are poorly housed, they're poorly paid, and therefore they know that monetary giving them a token would, of course, really influence the decision that they make and look the other way if that person is doing a particular crime. Mr. Speaker, we also task her to ensure that our police officers are properly remunerated. Because again, one of the professions in this country that are very poorly paid are police officers. Last year, we saw a circular that was denying graduate police officers some payment. Along other cadres of government, an academic qualification warrants an increase in salary, where a degree holder should not necessarily be paid the same as a KCSE certificate holder. But a recent move by the police commission not to recognize these graduate officers has really demoralized these police officers. And you know, one of my friends kept joking about them being called D-minor material. But these people, Mr. Speaker, offer exceptional services to this country. They should be properly housed and they should be properly remunerated, Mr. Speaker. We also tasked Ms. Muchiri to find the issue, because the Salaries Remuneration Commission does not just deal in matters of Police Service Commission, but the entire Public Service Commission. And Mr. Speaker, we find a general view that the Salaries Remuneration Commission for a very long time has just been seen as that commission that looks into salaries of members of parliament. And for a very long time, the discussion about CRC, and most people when they hear CRC, they see MPs, they see the salaries of parliament. And we task her to really look at the mandate of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission and clean its image so that issues such as wage sustainability, which is one of the mandates of the commission, is what the commission is seen to do, and not just seen as a witch hunt to especially to some professions, especially the members of parliament, Mr. Speaker. We also asked her to ensure that the recruitment of police officers is fair. I think one of the jobs that Kenyans, young people apply, and they think whether it's there or perceived, that for them to get that job, they must give a bribe, is that of police officers. And this, Mr. Speaker, we know she's up to the task. And as complete, Mr. Speaker, when I sat down and saw Ms. Muchiri present herself to us, she did not present to us as a woman. She presented to us as a profession, as someone who was experienced, educated, and up to the task. And this calls to all of us that we can have women, we can have young people of caliber, of qualification, in positions of influence without necessarily electing them or appointing them just because they're women or they're young people. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I support this motion.
You support or you second?
And with that, Mr. Speaker, I second.